Welcome to Contrast. It is one of the rare games which have a negative review from me on Steam.
Is Daddy ever coming back?
I don't know, honey. Maybe someday when he's ready. But don't you worry, Mommy always comes back. I'll be home before you even wake up. Get some nice sleep.
Okay, she's gone. She's gonna sing at the Ghost Note tonight. It's the most beautiful cabaret.
But also I think it's a very cool game, worth checking out. Even though it's been released more than 10 years ago. So how can this be? Why would I leave a negative review for a game which I actually liked? Well, we'll get to that. What's interesting about Contrast is not only nice music and art style, it's got this circus steampunk vibe, but also that it's a combination of 3D and 2D puzzle platformer.
And I knew right away that you would want me. I just never thought you'd harm me. You held me closely, but now I know you love me mostly. Sorry, Joe, you ain't a lover, you're a house on fire, I'm burning so. You hear that siren coming, baby, I gotta go. You're in my past, Joe, I had my fill, it couldn't last, Joe, baby, I got bills. There's no one happy in a house on fire, why do I still hear those sirens going, baby, I get a chill, I get a thrill, babe, and I wanna run back, but I know I gotta stand down.
Vamp for me, Charlie, would ya?
The two-dimensional part of this game is shadows on different surfaces, mostly walls. And sometimes you have to manipulate 3D objects in relation to a light source to position those shadows in such a way so that you could later traverse upon them. Here you can see I'm doing that exactly. And also there are storytelling parts where you only see shadows of people and hear them talking for a limited amount of time, and you have to use that time and they are moving shadows to cross somewhere. So it's very cool indeed.
Why'd you have to come back, Johnny?
I want to come home, Kat.
And you got another pot of gold at the end of the rainbow?
That's the past, Kat. I've changed.
Oh yeah? You get religion?
I got lonely. I miss you, baby. I'm never gonna give you another reason to kick me out, I swear.
Never's a big word. Feels like I heard it before.
This time you're gonna be nothing but proud of me. Look at this hotel suite. I got investors.
But if it's so cool, then why would I leave a negative review for this game? You see, it made me physically sick. There are some 3D games where camera movement is too loose and it moves around too much, too quickly, and that's making me nauseous. I started playing on my 100-inch projector screen and I was unlucky to get absorbed into solving this exact puzzle you can see on the screen. I got absorbed into it so much that I missed a right moment to stop. And I had to literally throw up afterwards. So yeah, it's a cool enough game to make me ignore physical discomfort up to the point of no return. I had to play Contrast in short sessions on a small screen in broad daylight to minimize the negative effects on my body. I finished it, but even though I'm the kind of person who likes to get all of the achievements from a game, you know, that OCD type, I could not make myself run it a moment longer. I loved and I hated it at the same time. And even as I was editing this video, seeing it on a tiny preview screen, I still got a mild headache. Moreover, now a week later, plainly thinking about it makes me somewhat nauseous. If it was pure 3D, I would not have finished it. I was only able to do that thanks to 2D platforming parts, which gave me a necessary break. If you don't have a problem like that with 3D games, and if watching this video does not make you feel uncomfortable, then chances are you are really going to enjoy this game. And I enjoyed it too, in my mind at least, but I just couldn't leave a good review for a game that made me feel so bad physically. Not every 3D game has this effect on me. There is just something about camera controls here in particular. I wanted to let people know what they might be getting into if they have similar issues. So that is why I left a negative review for a game which is genuinely very good. Yeah, so that's it. That's all the ranting I wanted to do. The video is going to continue with some cool moments. The Princess Tale, which was quite funny, and then the game's ending. If you don't want spoilers, stop watching now. So thank you for listening and see you next time.
Hey, has anyone seen the princess puppet? We can't really start the story without her.
That sounds like Daddy.
Ah, she was right here. Ah, there she is. Once upon a time, there was a princess who lived in a castle with her father, the king. The king loved her very much because daddies loved their daughters. Unfortunately, the kingdom also had an ogre who was eating travelers because ogres do that. So the king did what kings do and promised that anyone who slew the ogre would get to marry his only daughter, the princess, and become king when he died. The king's lands were very far away, and the ogre was very large, so only one knight showed up. His name was Fred, and he fell immediately in love with the princess. Fred was a brave knight, and he marched off the next morning, singing a brave song as loudly as he could. After several days had passed, the princess got to wondering what had happened to her future husband. So she set off into the forest to look for him. The princess tracked Fred's footprints through a strange wilderness full of scary sounds and hidden dangers. Chasms filled with razor-sharp bamboo. Fortunately, she was a very brave princess who loved adventures, just like you. She used her wits to get past unexpected obstacles. She came to a wide river filled with snapping crocodiles. She couldn't even swim. So what do you think she did?
She ran on top of their heads.
That's right! It was a magical forest where the plants seemed to know each other. She had to use magic mushrooms to get high or up. Unfortunately, she impaled herself on the bamboo. Wait, that's not what happened. she learned to use some bendy tree branches to fling herself across a patch of deadly sharp bamboo. As the sun was setting, she came to the giant ogre's campsite. And there, the princess discovered the ogre had captured Fred and hung him from a tree as a snack. The ogre did not appreciate visitors at all. Even Fred seemed a little embarrassed to see her. And so the princess tricked the ogre and rescued Fred. Fred didn't feel too good about it. He really loved the princess. Fortunately, the king told him about a giant spider that he could slay in order to win the princess's hand. So Fred marched off to the lair of the giant spider, singing a brave song, a little less loudly than before. After several days had passed, the princess got to wondering what had happened to her future husband. So she went off looking for him again. Fred's footprints led her into a dark and creepy cavern, full of strange dripping sounds, kind of like the basement at school. Her footsteps echoed and echoed until it sounded like someone was following her. Soon she came to a vast pit filled with vicious, deadly spikes. It was much too big to jump over, but far off, she could hear moaning. She thought it might be Fred. So what do you think she did?
I know.
What?
She used an umbrella.
What?
Like that nanny in that movie.
This is the Middle Ages, honey. Where would she get an umbrella?
I don't know, but that's what she used.
I don't think I have an umbrella.
Well, you better find one, because she used an umbrella.
Where am I supposed to get an umbrella? Oh, there we go. So, the princess bravely threw herself into the air, slowing her fall using an umbrella. Just like that nanny in the movie. She floated down into the cave. Deeper and deeper into the cavern she floated. She thought she could hear Fred moaning, but maybe it was only the wind. Finally, she landed softly, right in a spider's web. Fortunately, it was a very old web, and she was able to break free. Unfortunately, the web was the only thing holding up a giant boulder. The princess needed to find somewhere to hide. Suddenly, a giant spider jumped out of the shadows and attacked her. She ran and climbed and jumped and climbed, but the giant spider was very good at climbing too. It had 8 legs and the princess only had 2. Fortunately, the princess remembered how the webs were holding up boulders. Finally, she found Fred. He was all wrapped up like a present for the giant spider's girlfriend. He was dreadfully embarrassed about having to be rescued again. He really loved the princess. The princess decided he was cute. Fortunately, the king told him about a dragon that he could slay in order to win the princess's hand and stop being so embarrassed. So Fred marched off to the mountaintop of the dragon, singing a brave song very quietly. After a few days, the princess got to wondering...
Why her dad kept trying to give her away?
That too. But she was worried about Fred, so she went off to find him. The dragon's mountain was cold, and the wind howled at her to turn back. There were rock slides and fiery chasms. But she was very brave and nimble, just like you. She wasn't going to be put off by a few deadly dangers. Up and up she climbed. When she got cold, she thought about the hot buttered muffins she would make once she got Fred home. Do you still like muffins?
I love muffins.
The princess hoped Fred liked muffins. When the princess got to the lair of the dragon, she was not very surprised to see Fred hanging from the roof of the dragon's cave. So she taunted the dragon until it roared its fiery breath at her. Finally, burning away the ropes that were tying up Fred. And so the princess and Fred lived happily ever after. Fred never had to go on another adventure again, and they had hot buttered muffins every morning. There is another version of the story where the princess flew off on the dragon's back to have a life full of adventures, but that's for another day. After a few days, the princess got to wondering.
Why her dad kept trying to give her away?
You think you're gonna jitterbug your way back into our lives with a lot of sweet talk.
That's the past, Cat. I've changed.
How can I believe you, Johnny? Your lips are moving.
Need my family. Maybe I'm no good without my family. Maybe I need my family to make good.
You're not even a real father.
I missed you so much.
I missed you too, honey.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Vincenzo's Theater of the Unreal.
I got the lights on.
We'll talk about this after.
Ladies and gentlemen, a physicist named Albert Einstein tells us that our universe may not be the only one. There may be infinite others, each slightly different from ours. What are dreams in our world may be reality in those. To citizens of these other worlds, we are shadows. This appears to you to be an ordinary box, but it is actually what we call a tesseract, or an octocoron. Suppose I open it, not in the 3 dimensions we live in, but along its 4th dimension. I can take out surprising things, things that are familiar and yet strange. But in this world of shadows, what seems familiar may be dangerous. What you don't know can hurt you. But what frightens you can also turn into something of surpassing beauty if you only understand it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
What are you up to, Johnny? You're up to something, aren't you?
I tried, Kat. I really tried. Mom was right. I made a lot of promises I couldn't keep.
What is with you?
Without you, I'd be in the river.
But it worked out, Daddy.
I nearly got you hurt, kiddo.
You would have saved me if I needed it.
Enjoy the show?
I want you to meet the little girl who turned the lights back on.
You made the lighthouse work?
I fixed the puppet show, too. And the pirate ship.
You fixed the pirate ship?
It was only a little broken.
See? She's almost as smart as you. Of course, she's brave, too.
What's that supposed to mean?
That you're rich, famous, and afraid of a little girl.
What would you have me do, Mr. Fenris? Take her on my world tour? Take her to Shanghai and Istanbul and those other filthy and dangerous cities as some sort of apprentice? Is that what you came here to propose?
Daddy, no!
I don't know, just... Dee Dee deserves better. They both deserve better. They need you.
I think they need you.
Me? I'm a walking calamity.
No, Daddy, we
You
need
risked your life to be with them.
Johnny, what did you do?
He nearly got himself killed to get you back. I wouldn't do that for anybody.
But I'm just gonna keep screwing up.
I can help you fix things.
Would you take me back? For good?
Oh, Johnny.
Yay!
Would you like to see my workshop? Again?
Yeah,
I bet you get to Shanghai on your own steam.
but how?
Well, you'll figure something out. After all, you are my daughter.
How'd you do that? I thought only Dawn could do that.
It's been a long time, hasn't it? Thanks for taking care of Dee Dee.